All right, going to get the YouTube going here, and then let me get my Facebook up. I have to load them separate or it will bug out. So hopefully when I get back, the YouTube is fully loaded, but I'm going to get the Facebook loaded. Then we're going to sit down and have a nice little chat with you guys. I don't know how long I'm going to run this. I'm expecting some messages that could come that may need me to hop out of here. It could happen in 5 minutes. It could be in 2 hours, but it's a good window for me to get this done. So in the meantime, I'm just going to get started. All right, looks like Facebook is loading. Come on, Facebook, load. All right, it's taking it a minute. There it goes. All right, Facebook is up also. Hopefully, YouTube's is up. I think it is. Yeah, I think we're good. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down midday. It's noonish here my time. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to be in here. I'll run this a little while. I'm liking these shorter ones. I'm able to do these more often if I do shorter ones. Um, and quite frankly, I don't care about what happens with the YouTube at this point. YouTube is almost fan service and just drawing in clients. If I'm going to be frank, it is completely insignificant towards my bills and my income at this point. It doesn't matter. But I'm still going to keep the page going for fan service. What's up, Lars? What's up, Connor? But yeah, on the other hand, by doing these lives, it blows my algos back up sometimes on Facebook. Like my Facebook, I hadn't done a live in 12 days. I did one and it immediately boosted my outreach 50%, and then it doubled the next day. And then it ran, and then it's trickled back. It seems like if I go too long without a live, it drops my feed a little bit. So by me doing both at the same time, we get outreach to everybody. I get to talk to people on both platforms, and so it's a win. I can justify doing these lives when I notice a significant spike from my Facebook from doing it. So yeah, I'll come in here chat with you guys. Um, I'm focusing more on cardio. You guys notice how short and brief my workouts are, but I'm focused on progression and I'm hitting PRs. I've noticed every time I've done that historically, right? When I cut down to one really hard set per exercise, what happens? My performance climbs. My triceps are the strongest on tricep extensions they have ever been in my life. My last workout was a lifetime PR in terms of weight, even doing any reps. And I got 8 reps with it. So I'm going to go up to that full plate. So my goal tomorrow is a full big boy plate on an Olympic bar for a tricep extension, right? Those laying ones behind the head, the riptoe style, you know, my incline's going up. So, kind of goals that I'd like to see on that, even though I'm cutting, even though I'm focused more on cardio, I want to see that pressing strength coming up. But yeah, Lars says he's happy for the fan service. Connor, I'm going to keep you with mod status if that's cool. I'm going to keep the 3 guys I have as mods in here. I'm going to keep it with you guys. I see no reason to remove your mod status. You guys do a good job with it. So as long as you're cool with that, dude, I'm probably just going to leave you as a mod indefinitely. Unless I see a reason to undo it. I've been sticking to 1 to 2 main sets per exercise. It's really helped me maintain size. Yeah, I got I got 5.3 miles in this morning before the rain started. I had to get started early because then we had a big rainstorm after. But I managed to get in. I got home because I tried to do cardio yesterday in the rain with an umbrella. Dude, I got 2 miles and I'm like, I'm done with this. Right. So I did a leg day and I tried to go do that. So, and I just count that as a mix of walking and a light jog. But I want to build up to jogging for large amounts of the cardio again. But with my leg training and deficit, I got to be very careful. Got to be very careful with it. But cardio athleticism is going to be important as I lean out. Right. No, I'm running in Vibrams. So I'm doing I put up a picture of the Vibrams the other day on Facebook. No, I'm doing Vibrams again. I got another pair. I'm using the hell out of my Apple Watch. Like this thing is. I used to make fun of that. Remember? And I'm like, what do you guys do to track your steps? It's like, dude, this thing is super helpful. I'm not gonna lie, it was worth the investment. I got it $300 off because they were running a special from my provider. When they ran the special, I jumped on it. It varies. Like a really bad day, 10 to 12,000. Like yesterday, because it was raining. This today, I'm not even through my day. This is only noon. I'm at 13,500 steps right now. I'm sorry, it just updated. I'm at 14,148 steps. Well, no, I need to get the different size. No, I have to get a different one if I don't want it to do that. I probably got too big a one because I'm next to, it's snug when I go to one away from the tightest. So I'm within its margin, but so I need a different band. I don't think they're that expensive. I need to order the next size down. No, I've been happy with it. So I got like the biggest screen one because I need glasses. But no, it's been super helpful tracking my heart rate, all my sleep stuff, everything. So I mean, I've got to recharge it every day. But no, I'm not at 20,000. 10,000 is a good baseline. A lot of days I'm hitting 15, 16. So the average day for me is about 15,000 right now. Right? No, 20K is a lot. Lars says, I do 30 minutes bike every day, around 75% to 85% of max pulse. Is that enough cardio health? That's probably decent for health. Like I'm going pretty extreme because I want the calorie burn while I'm fasted. So I want to build up to, and my cutting is going to get super easy when I get here. I want to get up to where I'm jogging 5 miles. I want to get to where I'm jogging 5 miles most days. And that'll be really solid instead of just walking too. Even 10,000 is a lot. 10,000 is considered kind of a benchmark personal trainer set. So, but I do all of it fasted, like all my cardio. 10,000 is a lot for the average person. I had something I was going to say on here. I forgot what it was. Yeah, in addition to your strength training sessions, Lars, hit that like. Why is there only one like with all you guys commenting? Let me check Facebook. Is anybody in here? The Facebook one is dead today. That's weird. I'm gonna let it just run. Some of those, man, I had one of them a few weeks back where the Facebook got 9,000 views on the live stream. The one yesterday got 2,000. The one here only got like 300. No, the average person definitely sedentary. But 10,000 is considered something personal trainers tell you to kind of aim for just for overall fitness. Connor says, I like to hit occasional this week. I'm off of Bosnia to hike a mountain to find this kind of cardio. Yeah, that can be. 10K is a lot if you don't walk. No, the other day, so when I first got the smartwatch, I'd had it a few days or a week already. And I wanted to test the phone. I realized I could make phone calls with it, right? So I threw it on fully charged and I called up a family member of mine to chat with them. And I like to pace when I'm talking on my phone. I checked it while I was on a 45-minute phone call. I walked 3,000 steps inside my house on the call. That's just neat, right? That's a non-exercise activity, thermogenosis. Yeah. Is Yohimbe good for a target stubborn fat late in the cut? Do you know much? Yes, Connor, but I'm also on Facebook, which is more important to me than YouTube. So I'm not going to discuss double streaming. Like the reason I can justify doing these on the Facebook all these days is because it's streaming because I'm streaming both platforms and it really helps me. See, it seems like, and I could be wrong, maybe I'm completely off base, but it sure seemed like I had the slowest view day I had in 20 days. And then I did a live and my traffic boosted 50% immediately. I've also done a live stream before and had a post that I put up and like it had just gone up an hour later on a timer, got 2 million views and made like $300. So it does seem to like boost my stuff for some reason. Hit like, gee, I don't know what that means. But no, so you're talking about alpha receptor agonists. Yeah, potentially. But again, it's not going to be large amounts. It's just going to be maybe certain fat, maybe around your love handle area, whatever, it's stubborn. But keep in mind, people talk about stubborn fat. What you have to understand, Tony says, do you have black fatigue? I think everybody got black fatigue, homie. Everybody's got it home, Skillet. At least in America. I made plenty of posts about that. But here's the thing with stubborn fat in any type of fat burner. You are aware that that fat will eventually go away if you just keep cutting. Like most fat burners, it's really just there to either slightly speed up a cut that's already going to happen or to suppress your appetite. Hey, Tyrone, I'm going to need you to be a lot more specific with that question. Think through the question. Has your opinion on partials changed over the years? Dude, we're not going to be in this live stream long enough to have that conversation. I'm not going to sit in here for 12 hours. I need you to ask me a very specific question about what opinion at what time about partials did I express specifically, and has something changed from that viewpoint on that specific aspect of the topic with my current. A better way to word it? Because you're asking me to start sitting down and going back 30 years and think through my different trains of thought on different sorts of partials going back to the turn of the millennia. So you see the problem? I need you to be specific. Are you looking for a specific question? I think partials are for the most part useless as shit. But they can have some minor purposes if they have enough range of motion. Although there are certain partials that may be good for tendons. I mean, we could get into a lot of debates. So think through the specifics of your question. Connor says, yeah, I'm down about 60 pounds now. So in case it's weather, it helps mobilize the stubborn fat around the lower stomach. It's not going to necessarily do more than just continuing your deficit. Have you ever had Taco Bell before? Well, I'm 49, about to be 50 years old, and I'm from America. So I've obviously at some point had Taco Bell. Now, we loved Taco Bell when I was in high school. We had open campus. But I don't recommend that you generally eat it. How do you tell if I am gaining muscle on a lift versus getting better at technique? That's too nuanced of a question. Because usually changes from technique will happen within a week or so. You know, did your technique change? Have you gotten better at the way you're performing the lift? If not, then it's muscle. So if it's a lift you're already doing and your technique hasn't significantly changed and you get stronger, you're 100% gaining muscle. If it's a new lift you just started doing or you made a major form adjustment, it could be technique and motor unit learning. I agree. Most people who worry about the effectiveness of partials don't need them. People get into the weeds with that stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, guys, if you bench 275 pounds and you squat 370, I wouldn't even be thinking about this topic. You know what I mean? Now, if we're going to talk about, hey, I need stronger bench lockout and my tendons need the extra strength from doing some 700-pound board presses when you're stuck at 455 on your bench and you've already upped your steroid dose and it's still not working, you know, we could have that conversation. But you're going to gain less muscle from it. Just be aware. The second you go to that, you are gaining less muscle. So you're trading whatever benefit you're trying to get from it. You're exchanging it for hypertrophy potentially. Laurie says, I'm a big fan of smart rings, same biometric data as smartwatches, but without the screen. I like my screen. It's my guilty pleasure, but I know it's bad for you. All right. What do you classify me like you haven't done a lift in months? Yeah, I'm going to say you haven't done the lift in 12 weeks or longer. That's definitely a new lift. Funny you say that because I got a 275 bench knowing nothing about the training or supplementation, just beginners need to just train, right? Thoughts on prison workouts as they use? No, they don't. People in prison lift weights. Well, there are tons of powerlifting teams out of prisons. There are prisons with guys who squat and deadlift 800 pounds. What are you talking about? So when you say a prison workout, all I'm thinking is that you got the Aryan Brotherhood working out together and the black dudes working out together out in the yard. That's the only difference between that and a normal workout. It's racially segregated workouts. What are you talking about? Prison workouts. I don't think that it being in prison and the prison structure is necessarily a factor in that. Now, here's going to be my response to your point about partials. Well, partials are oftentimes really fucking stupid to do. They're less effective. And on average, people with lower IQs commit felonies at a higher rate. Therefore, it is likely that the prison population has a below average, at least a few points lower than the general population of IQ. So they're going to be prone to just doing stupid stuff. So let's just do a bunch of partials. Yeah, because they have an average 90 IQ in prison, probably. That's probably why. They're just dumb. I mean, if you want an explanation as to why they do it. Oh, this Giuliano guy is just spamming, calling Trump a rapist and child molest. Oh my gosh. Well, just keep going, Julian. Just keep getting me traffic in here, man. All right. Why are we talking about push-ups at all? Why are we talking about bench press, incline bench, weighted dips? Or you're talking about building your chest. I mean, push-ups is kind of or maybe weighted push-ups if you want a finisher. You know, I guess you have your prison buddy climb on your back to resistance. But dude, it's push-ups. It's not exactly a size and strength builder. Relative to the fatigue you generate doing 1,000 reps. Like, how many push-ups are you doing? Like, for me, if I did nothing but 500 push-ups for my chest workout, I would lose muscle. I would literally lose muscle. I would get smaller. My chest would get smaller. So I don't know why we're talking about push-ups at all. Like, unless I'm going to have some fat dude sit his fat ass on my back, it's a push-up. It uses like half your body weight. I mean, I could put half my body weight on a bench and do sets of 50. You can do push-ups on the back, but why? You could just bench press. Like, why go through all this trouble? See what I mean? I'm not saying it's wrong, but, you know, let's be realistic here. This is not exactly efficiency. You know, this is the point I would make to people. Look, there's a lot of stuff we can do because it's fun. You know, but just like me right now, I'm not worried about conditioning in the way. I'm worried about size and strength. That's why I do so little. I'm just maximizing what I'm doing. I get my conditioning doing cardio. Right? You want to get in shape, go running. So I would ask the question, you know, what is your goals? Well, I don't have a lot of equipment. Well, I guess have your fat ass cellmate sit on your back and do push-ups. But then what are you going to do for the other? You're going to need something to develop the pulling muscles, or you're going to get some imbalances here. Better find a way to do some pull-ups, homie. But if you got a way to do pull-ups, those guys can do muscle-ups. So if you got a pull-up bar, you can just swing up and do the muscle-up part and turn it into a dip up top, and now you can just toss the push-ups out into the trash. Just do weighted dips with the plates, push-ups. Yeah, same thing. It's just think in terms of efficiency. This is what liberals look like when they rage at you. Absolutely. You should see the ones on the Facebook right now. This dude's just this Giuliano guy. He just goes off all the time. It's great. He's spamming. Why did he quit spamming? You haven't posted. Here you go, Julian. How many of you Republicans got charged for rape? Well, Julian, people of all ideologies get charged with rape. Do you know which group commits the largest amount of rape per capita, though? Black people. By a pretty massive margin per capita, and they mostly vote Democrat. All right. So we could say there's a correlation there, you know. Now it's not causation, but there's definitely some correlation there. By and large, you're going to find most registered Republicans have lower than average crime rates. Not saying everyone who identifies as a Republican, but generally, a Republican voter who is a registered Republican tends to have a below average crime rate per capita as a demographic. You're just very weird, man. Why can't you just admit that your ideology is one of degeneracy? It's all about men having periods and cutting their penises off and gender fluid, aborting babies. Let's teach children to be trans queer. You know, put tampons in the boy. Like you do, your whole ideology is just sheer degeneracy. It's just filth. Right? It's absolute degeneracy and filth. Let's just come to terms with that. Your whole ideology is built upon gender bending and gender fluid booty sex and mutilating genitals and chopping babies up. Like that's your whole party platform. Oh, and you hate Trump. Oh, and let's all be communists. Right. Because I do need more equipment, or is a barbell and dumbbells enough? I see you have the leg machine in your wall in the reverse. Need is a relative term, Tyrone. It's relative. If you've got a rack, an adjustable bench, a barbell, some dumbbells, dude, you can do 99% of anything you need to do with that. Most left-leaning people reckless estimates. Do you think children should have access to gender-affirming care? I think that you even asking the question is already suspect. Anybody who even ponders that question, I'm already questioning if you're a pedophile. Like anyone who raises the question, shouldn't we be giving children? No. You don't need to go anywhere near a school. All right. I even need you to say 1,000 yards away from all schools. All right. They're normal. No, there's some normal left-leaning people. I know a few, but I know some crazy ones too. I might try to get a leg machine or reverse hyper. I mean, it's not a bad go. You know? I mean, that's my response. Anyone who starts talking about giving children access to gender-affirming care, I'm like, yeah, you don't need to be anywhere near a school or a daycare. That's what I think. Right? Kyle says, you got in the morning and didn't villain and an humiliated rapist. Does that mean you well? My name is Donald York. That's you right there, dude. Could you name one of these 34 felonies? So you always want to call Trump a felon. I want you to go ahead and tell me specifically what these felonies are. Like go down the road or just name one of them. One of his, I want you to tell me what the actual felony is, since you're obsessed with it. And E. Jean Carroll is a lying, gold-digging whore, and her story is not even remotely believable in anywhere but New York City. That would have been thrown out. Her story isn't even believable. When he says he never met her and has no idea who she was, I actually kind of believe him. And I'm not saying everything Trump says is true. All things considered, it's actually believable that he probably doesn't even know who the hell she is. Also, here's my problem, Kyle. You guys keep calling him a pedophile, yet you're claiming he got an erection with an adult woman within seconds to assault her. You can't have both, cannot be true. Psychologically speaking, from a clinical perspective, and yes, I do have a psychology background, From a clinical perspective, both of those statements cannot be true. The mere presence of pubic hair is oftentimes enough to prevent a pedophile from getting an erection with a female. It's grotesque to them. It's off-putting. Breasts, pubic hair, is ick to them. So explain this to me. Pick one. You can't both be true. All right. Yeah, the felony stuff has told me this. I agree. Let's see. What about Trump's insider trading? Who cares about insider trading? I have numerous semester hours of psychology. Although my interest is in social psychology more than the other stuff. Hence why I successfully run a rage bait Facebook page as a business. Social psychology, understanding propaganda and how humans respond in groups. Ooh. All right. I don't care about insider trading. You make your money. Does it pay well? Yeah. All right. A few hours, like 30 semester hours. Let's see. And then I have 27 hours of criminal justice and criminology on top of that. If you took you've got to be like, I'm going to say if you've taken at least 15 semester hours and made good grades on them on any topic, you have a background in it, right? If it's at an accredited university. I forget the exact number. Your stream is choppy. Your mom is choppy, Kyle. Hey, Kyle, you know when I talk about the retards in the comments, you're one of them. Yummy. That's you, Kyle. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to cry? Are you going to cry about Epstein and Trump some more? Are you going to cry like a little baby? Am I upsetting you? Lord. All right. I actually have more in psych than I do A&P. I only have 8 hours of anatomy and physiology. Jason, I notice you're getting under the skin of the liberals all day, dude. You should see the number of death threats I get in an average day. Oh my God. Here's what's hilarious though, right? You guys who followed me for years and remember my gun channel, right? Do you guys remember my gun channel? I literally made $2,500 on that video where I went into an autistic level of obsession with what different bullet types do in the FBI testing in human tissue. Like to the point where it should be almost creepy. And then people watched me hand load thousands and thousands of custom rounds on camera. Right? You remember all that? I get people who message me, we're going to show up at your house. We got your address. See my face? Oh my God. I've been preparing for this for 12 years. Like I'm getting all excited. Like I'm getting all happy. I'm getting all giddy. Like, oh my God, I'm going to get to kill 12 people in self-defense. Oh Lord. There can be like 12 pissed off black dudes showing up at my house who I can legally smoke right there in the middle of the street. I get to test all that hypothetical stuff I make thousands of dollars in videos on with all my custom hand loads. I'm going to get to fire like 1,000 rounds into their cars. Oh my God. You know what I mean, guys? Oh man. Once again, your reaction is purely emotional. Your mom is purely emotional. Kyle chiming in. As I always say, most liberals are gay and retarded. You got Kyle. I'm going to read his thing out. I'll read out Kyle's comment for everyone, even on the YouTube. When you become your, when you reacting, you're really emotional. All knee-jerk reactions. You should know that. That's you, dude. There you go, Kyle. Being retarded again in my comments. Derek Small says this dude is so sad. Your mom is sad. But let's get back over to my YouTube people are crying, laughing, getting all the oh god. You guys are used to me. The Facebook people are not used to my antics yet. You guys have put up with me for like 14 years on YouTube. You guys already know how I am. No wonder they're known as libtard. Exactly. Oh, what a mentally ill demographic. Right? Again, dudes who run around putting tampons up their butts, think men can get periods, think that it's possible to be born the wrong gender, right? Who want to normalize booty sex in the middle of the street in parades. Oh, what a bunch of degenerates. What a bunch of degenerates. I just can't with these people. Dude, I know you're prepared, but 1,000 rounds would be a big negligent, just one. Well, no, Big Papa, let me explain how this works. So I saw movement still within the vehicles, and I saw a gun. I saw a gun, and one of them was still moving, so I loaded the 30th magazine because I felt I was still in immediate danger. The third vehicle, there was a guy still moving around, and I thought I saw an AR in there. And I felt that my life was in immediate danger still. I was in fear of my life. I was terrified. Absolutely terrified. I was shook. I was just absolutely shook and crying. My life was in danger, so I had to fire another 50 rounds. Right? You know, slice and dice those cars until there's not much left. Saw something moving. Buddy, I saw a gun. I saw it. I'm sure he had a gun. Like on my mama. You know? All right. Kyle, I've seen the average liberal who claims to have guns shoot. Kind of like watching the average police officer shoot at the range who's barely qualified. You're like, yeah, bro, I'm not scared. I'll take 7 of you. All right. You guys like shoot at a target. It's like all over the target. There's more than one hole. Kyle, there's like more than one hole in the target. And not because you used a shotgun. You see a problem with this? You see a problem here? There's only supposed to be one hole. See where that bullseye is? That's where all 200 rounds go. That's baseline. You own guns. Okay. Oh, you're not going to tell me publicly what I have. Oh, it goes. Any person goes to GPU. What are you talking about? Oh, man. You guys are obsessed with that whole grinder thing. You know that was like a one-time thing, and it was probably the counter protesters. That's probably where all the gay dudes hung out, in that counter protest. Police arrived asking for the bodies. Like, what bodies? Tyrone says, I've seen Coach shoot, and he isn't your average shooter, right? You guys have watched me just casually like dump the whole mag in the middle in 3 seconds. And there's one hole in the target. Because that's how you should be able to shoot, guys. It's not that difficult. Practice a little bit. I'm not going to show you anything. Kyle, I've been shooting since I was 6 years old. Literally trained by an Olympic shooter. My grandfather shot in the Olympics. He started teaching us all as little bitty kids. I'm a decent shot. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm pretty decent. It was not a one-time thing, bro. Oh, no. There you go, Kyle. Kyle, you don't scare me. You don't worry me. Roll up, nigga. All right. Big Papa says exactly. I think liberals don't understand shooting is like martial arts. You don't practice it regularly, you lose it. Peppermint's already screaming. One of my mods on YouTube's already screaming. Go, Peppermint, go tell him on Facebook. He said, come on with it, Kyle. Come on. Just set bag puss off and they're in trouble, man. Break out bag puss, they are screwed. You already know bag puss don't play. Even I don't mess with bag puss. You guys have seen him whoop my ass on camera before. A few times. He put me down right there on camera. We got footage of it. Like that rabbit from Monty Python. All right. But in any event, I feel like has this been enough? We've got a pretty good number of man, these libtards came in pissed on Facebook. They done left 42 comments. They could go a little higher. Go a little higher. And these liberal retards. Your posts on Facebook are going, they are, dude. They're doing pretty good. I had a little slower. Yesterday, I had over 2 million views. We got over 2 million views yesterday. Right? Where we at for the month? I'm just going to flash it for a second. You guys may not be able to see it. This is the month so far. We're 2 weeks in. Triggered liberal. There you go. What's going on, Connor? Hell, Connor's British and he's even calling you guys out. Oh my gosh. Even the Brit knows that American liberals are pussies. You know what I mean? The head going to go buy Coach a new couch. It's going up, dude. I'm picking up 1,000 new net followers a week. I'm doing measurements. I'm not making them all public, Big Papa. I'm documenting them. And I'm going to keep bumping my cardio. I think it is time, though, to wind this down. Derek, I get paid for that. You didn't know that? I get paid when you do that. And all the bonuses are based on views. So like I picked up a $480 bonus earlier in the month. It's only on views. It doesn't care about engagement. Those bonuses are purely by how many views I get. So yes, I get excited by your views, but it's time to wind it down. Love you guys. Let's wind down the Facebook. Yeah, dudes are really thinking just because they view it that I don't get paid for it, or you guys are wrong. Let me give you guys a Mount Bicephalus. All right, you get a Mount Bicephalus here. Oh, Mount Bicephalus. I don't know how my quads are looking today. I don't know. Let's check. I'll do it quick. Yeah, they're not too good today. I'm also really hairy. All right. But we're out.